Hey guys, Peter here from the Hidden Online Living YouTube channel, and here in this video I want to share with you 5 reasons why you're not making money with blogging. So make sure to keep watching till the end of the video, and I will share with you some of why these reasons may be causing you to be not making money with your blog content, and what you should be aware of in order to change that so that you can really start to scale up your business to the next level. So if you are new to the channel and you're finding content like this to be helpful, please be sure to leave a like on the video. Also subscribe to the channel and hit that bell icon to be updated whenever I release future content, and also feel free to share the video. Also, if you are looking for an honest and simple way to get started on your own online journey and you want to figure out the steps in which to do so, make sure to check out the link below in the description to find out more. Right, so we're going to dive into the reasons why you're not making money with blogging, and the first reason as to why is due to lack of patience. And what do we mean by that? It's like anything we do start, a lot of people when we start out in line, we've all made these mistakes. I've made these mistakes myself. You go online with the intention because you know you want to start something and you want to create something for yourself and even let it work for yourself, because you want to get away from the grind, you want to get away from the 9 to 5 job, you want to be your own boss, you don't want to be in a position where you constantly are being told what to do, and you don't want to have to answer to anybody. The problem with that is when we eventually do take it upon ourselves and take the initiative to want to start something and actually start taking the steps to do so, we quickly become impatient and we actually tend to just give up. An example of this is a lot of people, there's so many people out there, even when you look at the likes of YouTube and blogs, there's millions of blogs online, there's millions of YouTube channels, and there's more YouTube channels starting to come up now because due to current situations in the world, more and more people currently are losing their jobs every day and they're actually having to learn to adapt. So they're actually looking to get started online and to figure out how this whole online thing works. So they're creating blogs, they're going to the likes of YouTube to try and figure out how to actually create the content that they want. But the problem is they literally put up maybe 1 to maybe 2, 3, maybe 10 videos, and then what actually happens is they give up because they don't see the results straight away. They automatically assume that once they've posted 1 to 2 videos that each video should get like a couple of thousand views literally instantly overnight. You just have to know that it's going to take a long time, and you have to think about it, you have to have a long-term mindset, and a lot of people actually don't. So we end up just having a severe lack of patience because we don't see the results that we expect to see. But the problem is, this isn't about what we want. If we truly want to build a business online, we have to be able to know what other people want, because if we're putting stuff out there and creating content, yes, we're doing it for ourselves, but we also want to do it in a way that also other people can relate to it, that we can provide value and provide insights to other people, even provide solutions to problems. Because by doing that, in return, you will gain a following over time. More and more people will be exposed to your content, and the likelihood is that they will subscribe to your email lists and that they will actually subscribe to your channels and even opt into your mailing lists on your blogs and so forth. And that's where a lot of people actually get caught out. So whether you're doing YouTube or doing a blog, it's essentially the same practice. You need to come in, you need to be able to create content, and you need to just work with one article at a time and try to make it as informational and as valuable as possible, and then you should be good to go. But just know that it's going to take time, because there is a lot of other reasons why blogs tend not to work as well. It's more to the point is because a lot of people come in and they want to write like a blog article, but the problem they have is they don't really know how to create good copy, they don't really know how to write good articles, they don't really know how to structure the content in a presentable manner that people can actually look at, they don't know how to organize everything correctly, they don't know how to upload images. A lot of people coming in probably aren't technically minded, so there's a lot of hurdles for them to overcome to be able to get to any sort of point where they can create a half decent article. And that's where a lot of people will throw in the towel and literally give up after the first couple of weeks. The intentions are always good, but if people are willing to stick at it, they will see the results, but they just have to take time. But lack of patience is pretty much the number one reason why most people fail with blogging online, or like say YouTube, or pretty much anything that they do online. So if you can overcome that and really stick to your guns, you will eventually start to see results. Which actually moves me on to my second point as to why you may not be making money online with blogging, is to be creating short and low quality content. And what actually happens is a lot of people, eventually when they do get started, they just create a small type of article. They might only write a couple of lines, maybe a paragraph or two, maybe even like maybe up to about 500 words, and then they get impatient and they couldn't be bothered to create valuable content. They just want to get something out there as quickly as possible. And what actually happens is they put it out there and then nobody responds to it, and they get annoyed and they get frustrated as to why people aren't engaging with it, because the content is really short and it's low quality. Because people can tell when they come onto a blog, if you've been reading blogs or articles for a long time, you know the difference between a good blog or good content and bad content. You know when someone's actually come in and literally just done a quick attempt at just trying to get something out there versus something that is actually very long, that's a couple of thousand words long, that actually you can tell that is actually relevant and actually is valuable. Because if the content is short, the chances are it isn't as valuable, because it's not relating to what they're trying to put out there, because it's rushed. Sometimes it can also look spammy. People are literally just chucking anything out there literally just to get it done, and a lot of people won't relate to that, because a lot of people that really do like to read, they like to read good quality content, and they like to read long articles. And the more informative an article is, the chances are you will get more engagement over time. People will actually come back to your blogs. They'll even share your blogs on social media. They'll even bookmark the pages so that they can come back to it at a different stage if they think the content is relevant, especially if it helps them provide a solution to a problem they may have. Your article may show them actually how to solve it. So if you can create it in that way, you should be good to go. But if you're creating low quality content and short articles, it'd be very, very hard for you to actually do that and build up any sort of trust with your following. So it's just something to be aware of. So try to create better, longer and high quality content. So the third point as to why you may not be making any money online with blogging, and it does tie into the previous step, is that you're not being consistent with your content. You've created a blog and you may have made it around, say, make money online or passive income, but then you're doing fitness related content, you're doing automotive content, you're actually just writing stuff about your day-to-day things that you're doing, like writing groceries, or you have it like kind of like an online diary. And a lot of people actually do get caught up in this because they genuinely don't know how to structure their content. They don't know what to write, so they just write anything that they can think of that comes to mind just to get it out there. And all that actually happens is people come onto your blog and they don't even know what they're looking at. They click on the link to your blog assuming that there's going to be good content and that there's actually going to be something here that can actually help them, provide some sort of value, or maybe even provide a solution to a problem, only to be faced with what you're doing on your day-to-day basis, or how you fixed your car, or what you ate for dinner. And they're like, this isn't what I signed up for, this isn't what I wanted to see. So they're going to bounce straight away, and it leaves them not coming back to you in the future. So your content needs to be consistent. It needs to be relative to your niche and the ideas that you're putting out there. Like if you're creating a content article around of ways to earn passive income, then you need to give them an article and describe so many ways, maybe even 10 ways of how they can earn passive income online, whether they're doing affiliate marketing, whether they're creating some sort of online platform or foundation, or they're creating an online course, or doing online jobs. You need to give them that type of content and valuable content so that they can relate to them. But if your content is too inconsistent, you're never going to be able to build an audience with it. So the fourth point as to why you may not be making any money with blogging is you're not focusing on SEO or search engine optimization. You don't understand the concepts of keyword phrases and trying to target keywords that can actually help your content to rank. Now, when you start a blog for the first time, even like say if you were doing a YouTube channel, with YouTube it takes a while, it can take a couple of months. You have to do a minimum of between 30, 50 or 100 videos before YouTube starts to see your content or your videos or your channel as being an authority, before they even start to rank your content. And with a blog it's no different. You go in and create a blog, but yet you've created a load of articles, but yet they're not optimized for search engines. You haven't created like good keywords phrases, you haven't created engaging titles, you haven't added the words of the title or the keyword that you're trying to rank for in the descriptions or the body of your text. So if you're creating a title, like say this here, welcome to your SEO learning journey, this here itself would be a keyword. You want to make sure that you have that sprinkled in your first couple of lines of your article at some point as well, and then have other keywords that you also want to rank for sprinkled throughout your article. Now, you don't want to go to the point of literally bombarding your articles with so much keywords, because that used to work years ago but it doesn't work anymore. You want to be able to create engaging content and actually try to position your keywords in areas that are relevant to the topics of interest within certain areas and your documents and your articles. Because if you just try to spam keywords in on every chance that you get, chances are Google will just see it as spammy content and they won't even rank your website, and that's a big no-no. You don't want to do that at all. But also, when you're doing SEO, it's also what's known as organic, so which means it's going to take a while. Like I said with the YouTube channel, it's going to take a while for your content to rank anyway. It can take a couple of weeks to a couple of months before Google will actually start to index your site to actually start ranking your content. It'll start to crawl your website for specific keywords and phrases that you have, and if they find the content is relevant and useful, then eventually after that time your content will begin to rank, and you will start to see your articles start to rank on Google, on hopefully on page 1 if you can get it to do so. But you need to understand and be able to implement a good SEO strategy if you really want to see growth on your articles when it comes to blogging. And a lot of people usually leave this out, especially when they start out, because they just think that they can literally just go in and just write anything that they want and just leave it at that and expect it just to rank. It's not going to work like that. You need a solid structure, and you need to have a solid SEO structure for your content as well, for every article that you do, every article that you want to publish, if you really want to see the results on your blog and to allow it to grow. So which leads me to the fifth and final point as to why you may not be making online with blogging, and that is that you're not being consistent. And this ties into all the previous concepts. You're not understanding specific strategies, you're creating short articles, you're creating spammy looking articles, you're not creating engaging articles. But not only that, you're not being consistent with your content uploads. You're not actually, if you want your blog to grow, you want to create content regularly. So if you're going to create an article at least once a week, you need to create an article once a week. Because if you're sending it your articles, say on this particular day during the week, if you're starting to build up a following in your email list, they're going to look forward to that next article, because you want to be able to engage. And if you're writing a current article where you have multiple parts, you want to be able to say to your audience and to your list, make sure they follow on till next week, where I'll be providing part 2 of this article where I go more in depth with this information. You want to be able to hook people in and keep them engaged. But then if you go and say that and then you don't upload then for about 2 months, they're going to not even remember who you are. They're not even going to engage with you then when you do come back, and be very, very hard for you to try and draw your audience back in. So you need to be consistent, because if people are engaged with you, they're engaged with you for a reason, because they like what you're doing and they enjoy your content. So you want to keep them on your mind the whole time. So you want to make sure that you are consistent, because if you're not consistent with your uploads, it's just going to cause so many problems down the line, and it's going to be extremely difficult for you to even build an online business. You can't just assume that you can just put up 1 or 2 articles on your website and then just walk away and never touch it again and think that you're going to make money. That is not going to work at all. You need to build up authority on your website, and the only way to do that is show up every day, create relevant content, create articles that are at least a minimum of between 1,000 and 1,500 words at minimum. Create highly engaging content that's going to help people, that's going to provide solutions to problems they may have. Make it engaging, and again, being consistent. So you're doing at least a minimum of an article at least once a week, or once every second week, or a couple of times a month, and that you're releasing it at specific times every month, so that people know when to log in and when your content is going to go live. And even you want to engage with your users through email to let them know that you've released your next article. At least that way it keeps you on their mind, so they will engage with you. But if you're not consistent, they're not going to engage with you, and they will forget who you are. So it's just something to be aware of. So these are some of the reasons as to why you may not be making money online with blogging, and I really hope it's given you some insight as to what you really do need to focus on if you really want to see this as a long-term asset, and so that you can really move forward and build your business online. So if you have found this video to be helpful, make sure to leave a like, also subscribe to the channel and hit that bell icon to be updated whenever I release future content, and also feel free to share the video. Also, if you are looking for an honest and simple way to get started on your own online journey and you want to figure out the steps in which to do so, make sure to check out the link below in the description to find out more. And again, I will see you all in the next one.